Welcome to the Ladies Talk Show. This is your host, Leah Richeimer. Thank you so much for joining us. Is the corrective things that you're saying in the car, are they helping? Are they exacerbating the problem? There's one thing that you can be absolutely sure of, and I say this to myself as well. God Himself wants you to be closer to your husband. He probably wants that more than you even want it, perhaps. But be that as it may, whatever it is, He wants you to be closer to your husband. And if every time you say, you take a left, and did you see that car was just coming out? And you're whatever, this is driving a distance between the two of you. So it's we're all testifying to the fact that it is a big, big challenge to be silent. And Rav Steinman just gave a few years ago, he said that the power of speech is to remain silent. So the key is not necessarily zipping your lip, but it's internalizing a message. It's got to start from the inside out. In other words, this is a habit. I mean, forget about it. Whether you're right, you're wrong, this is a habit. You're in the car, and this is just the relationship you have. You go into car mode, and you go into, me tell you what to do mode, and that's kind of very normal. You're not wrong or bad for doing it, because that's kind of like the way, it's like the water runs down. You know what I mean? Like that's just the natural way of being. Is it an elevated way of being? Probably not. Is it the best ideal way of being? Probably not. Is it the way you'd want yourself to be and how you'd want to view yourself as the kind of giving, loving, all supportive person? Probably not. But to break a habit, particularly if it's been, over 3 months or 3 years or 30 years or whatever, to break a habit is very, very hard work. And the easiest way to break that habit is to start on the inside. In other words, rather than biting your lip and going like this, and you're about to say something and you don't, and about to say, that you're going to be exhausted by the, and you're not going to make very much progress. Whereas if you cerebrally you think, okay, what am I going to do instead? What am I going to tell? What am I going to say? Okay, God will take care of it. Maybe that'll work for somebody. Maybe use that as a tool. Maybe think, you know what? I wonder if every time I'm opening my mouth and saying something about his driving, maybe it's making it worse. Maybe the reason that, he's swerving and doing all the things that make me crazy is because I have just notched his stress level up that much that now things which, like we said, 80% of the time he gets home normally when he's driving by himself and he gets home. Maybe because he's more relaxed. Maybe when I'm in the car, he's like this, and worse things happen. That's pretty true of us as well. When we're stressed out, we forget our keys, and we turn our phone off and don't have the ringing, whatever. So whatever tools, and maybe get yourself a little journal or a little notebook, whatever tools you can think of to solve this issue and get over this habit, that's what to put your priority on. The problem is we're so busy that this just, all right, well, I'm not perfect, so I yell at him in the car. Okay, it's one way of thinking of it. Another way to think of it is, you know what? I'm working all these things in my life. I'm going to bring this one from the back door and only pick 1 or 2 things to work on at a time where you make yourself crazy. I'm going to work on this now. And I'm going to think of several strategies that are going to help me with this. And, that's as long as you have the goal in mind and you're training internally, you're training your thought process, you're training, and maybe, Google how to break a habit, to figure out ways to do it. But don't leave it just so that, every time you're in the car, it's like this tension for you and this tension for him.